What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about what Canadians say they are most proud of. I think this is such a fascinating question because Americans are very proud. We're proud of many things that are American. We're proud of all these American things like freedom and eagles and Walmart and semi-automatic weapons and barbecue and cheeseburgers and all this American stuff. Americans are very vocal about that. But Canadians, there's a few things I've learned that Canadians seem to be proud of. It's very wholesome stuff. Like Canadians really value their multiculturalism and diversity and being kind and polite and respectful. It's like when I say it like this, it's like that's I list all the American things, then some of the Canadian things that we're all proud of, and it's like, oh, it's kind of funny to compare and contrast. Anyway, aside from that, I haven't had this question directly answered for me from Canadians. What Canadians are proud of about Canada. I'm sure there's some really great, interesting answers. I just want to know some specific things about Canada Canadians are proud of. So I found this little Reddit discussion where someone asked, as a Canadian, what is it that you are most proud of? And I thought this would just be fantastic to take a look at. So let's look at some of the responses here. Terry Fox, yes! Terry Fox is, wow, right off the bat. I did a whole video reacting to Terry Fox. That is such an amazing story, and what boggles my mind is how Americans absolutely don't know about Terry Fox. I had never heard of him. I randomly go around to people now, Americans, my friends, people I don't know. I just jump in front of them and say, "Do you know Terry Fox?" Just because I'm curious. No, Americans don't know about him. It's kind of unfortunate. Vimy Ridge. Vimy Ridge. I don't know what that is. Let me Google it. The Battle of Vimy Ridge. Oh, wait. What is this? Is that what it is? The battle? Was part of the Battle of Arras in the Department of France during the First World War. The main combatants were the 4 divisions of the Canadian Corps in the First Army against the German Sixth Army. It was a Canadian versus German conflict in 1917. I've never heard about this. I did not know about this. Yeah, Canadian War Museum. The Battle of Vimy Ridge. Gosh, I could do a whole video on that. I had no idea. But it's something at least this Canadian is proud of. And the general opinions of Canadians in the international community. Yep, exactly. Very accepting, very appreciative of the international community, and having that be a part of Canada. It's very cool. We have so many flaws in our country, but at the heart of it all, I think Canadians are just stubborn, good people. Stubborn, good people. Does that mean stubbornly good? Like, you're gonna be good no matter what? You're stubborn that you're gonna be good? Or stubborn people that are good? either way. I don't know if that made sense, but either way, it's beautiful. I truly believe this to be the perfect answer. Terry Fox, 3,000%. Love your answers. Wow, a lot of people liked this answer. Terry Fox, Vimy Ridge, and international community in Canada. Wow, very nice. Yeah, the things Canadians are proud of is very wholesome and very, good. I almost want to say correct. Like, if there's a correct thing to be proud of, it's actually nice stuff like that. Seriously. We are a very peaceful country. Yeah, something to be proud of. We are most of the wars we fought after World War II were because of NATO. And we didn't put our country into debt to find them. Yes, America is that's another thing Americans are proud of, I would say, for sure. That we spend a lot on military. We have, the world's largest military budget, largest military power. And yeah, it's a a lot of Americans are proud of that, and it's certainly no American would say it's like a bad thing to have a giant military because it makes us feel quote unquote safe. But does it really need to be like 50 times bigger than the next one, the number two, or something crazy like that? At a certain point, you got to think some of that budget could be spent like paying our teachers more and fixing roads and like helping the unfortunate and those starving and poverty and homeless. But, that's just me. Maybe I'm just talking crazy here. Tyler talking crazy again. Okay. The goal of healthcare as a right. Yeah. Yeah. This is another thing often I think about and kind of mention. The role of a government, like, let's be philosophical here, very basic. If you're a civilization and you have a government, this thing that like governs and has power, you'd think right at the top of the list of reasons to have a government would be to provide health care to everyone and like in a way that doesn't ruin your life or send you into crippling massive debt if you don't have the right insurance. You'd think that'd be right at the top of the list, but again, what do I know? What do I know? The goal of healthcare is a right. Yes, that's definitely something to strive for, be proud of. Canada's healthcare system, for sure. As for Canada, honestly, it's hard for me. I want to say we have a nice reputation, and especially our diplomatic work is quite impressive. Yeah, Canada does have a really, really, really good reputation, like on the global scale. I know it's number one in a lot of categories for like education, like happiness is high. I'm not sure Canada's number one in the world for happiness. That might be a Scandinavian country or something. But yeah, it's very, very high in a lot of things. Like, yeah. I'm also proud of our immigration ambitions because it could be a very good plan to become a powerhouse in a century. Yeah, it's nice that Canada views immigration and diversity and multiculturalism as like something that'll make Canada stronger and more prosperous, whereas America, some parts of America view it as like detrimental, or even if a lot of Americans view it neutrally and don't really care. It's nice that Canada has like a proactive view on it where it's like, oh, we think this is actually a good thing because X, Y, and Z reasons. Yeah, it's very nice. When I think of what makes me proud, I find it's mostly related to Quebec, like being able to speak French in North America. Yeah, that is very cool. That is something to be proud of, for sure. That part of Canada. French Canada, French Canadians, Quebec. That's super interesting. There's not a lot of countries out there that have this phenomenon of having a place like Quebec be a part of their country. When you really think about it, it's like a country in a country almost. Like from some of the stuff I've seen, it's like its own. Lots of parts of Canada seem to have its own like identity and cultures. All the provinces, particularly Quebec, of course. Of assimilation to and being part of one of the most unique and rich cultures on the continent. I'm also proud of Hydro-Quebec and Caisse de dépôt et placement. I'm not sure what that is. I'm also proud of Hydro-Quebec. I'm not sure what that is either. Maybe I can Google it real quick. Hydro-Quebec is a public utility that manages the generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity. You are proud of an electricity company. Okay. I don't think I understand the nuance enough of this to know why. Caisse, what is this? This is a French word. An institutional investor that manages several public pension plans, insurance plans in Quebec. Okay, you like a Quebec electricity power plant and an insurance company. This is very specific stuff. And then they're saying we are collectively rich. Oh, good for you. Because of our parents, grandparents' decisions. Interesting. Interesting. This is some insight into Quebec I didn't know. Terry Fox, definitely. Terry Fox. That's all your answer has to be, as far as I'm concerned. Something Canadians can be proud of. Terry Fox, definitely. The Civil Marriage Act, allowing marriage equality. The proudest moment for me as a Canadian. Yes, the Civil Marriage Act. Um, when was this act enacted? Let me look this up. Civil Marriage Act. Oh, here we go. Legalizing same-sex marriage across Canada. Yes. That certainly took a very, very long time in America. For many, and like the states all have their own laws, and it's kind of crazy. At the time it became law, same-sex marriage had already been legalized in all Canadian jurisdictions except Alberta, Prince Edward Island, Northwest Territories, Nunavut. In 2005, Civil Marriage Act? Nice. So it's been in there for at least 18 years. Yes, that's fantastic. Certainly something to be proud of. Our human decency. Is this a poke at Americans or something? Our human decency? I rip on America a bit sometimes, but I actually think most Americans that you run into, to be honest, are very decent. Very decent. Human to human. Most humans are quite decent. But, yeah. Canadians being particularly decent human beings is something to be very proud of, for sure. Stephen Ogg? Ogg? Stephen Ogg? Let me look this up. I'm not sure who this is. Oh, wait, this is an actor. This guy. He's Canadian? Yeah, I know him. He's great. He's in really random shows. Like very, very random shows. Walking Dead, Better Call Saul, I saw him in. Some movies. He's like... So he's a Canadian actor. Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's like one of those actors that you see everywhere, but he's never like the main character, honestly. But he's like always great. Like always kills it. Wow. Okay, I didn't know he was Canadian. George Strombo. And our flag is cool. It is cool. Honestly, being proud of the Canadian flag, legitimately. Be proud of it. George Strombo. I'm not sure who this is. I don't recognize him. What did he do? Canadian media personality. One of Canada's most popular broadcasters, formerly being a VJ for the Canadian Music Television Channel. 50 years old. Okay, I'm not familiar with his work, but he's probably pretty famous in Canada, I imagine. Cool. Canadians, we got our stuff messed up, but don't care. I'll fight the world with you. Okay. This guy's passionate. Canadians, if you need anyone to run into battle for you, it's this guy, Perfect Help 3239. Call him. It's hard to see good in war, but I think of liberating the Netherlands and the concentration camps. The Netherlands were liberated? Is that like Canadian history that I don't know of? That's amazing. I don't know anything about this story of liberating Netherlands, concentration camps. Sounds horrible, but sounds good. If Canada was involved in stopping that, that's amazing. I think of Kitchener Wood, Vimy Ridge, Beaumont, Hamel. Technically Newfoundland and Labrador? I don't know any of these words. Kitchener Wood. Let me see if I can look that up. Oh, it's a battle. There's been a couple of battles in here. A couple of Canadian battles during World Wars that I'm not familiar with. So I get it, though. I get it. Vimy Ridge, that's the one that I did see earlier, right? I believe. Beaumont, Hamel, okay. If we had to choose a single Canadian for the whole world to learn about, it would be Terry Fox! I know. I agree. Like, his story is superhuman. It's insane. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and it's definitely true. People don't know about him. It's sad. In my lifetime, the proudest I've ever been was when Canada beat the US in overtime to win gold at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. I'm still really angry about that. No, I actually was not really aware of that. Was this a hockey match, I imagine? I was joining arms with the Oilers and the Canucks and Leafs fans to celebrate. Like over half the country tuned in. I think it's by far the most watched event in Canadian history. I don't watch hockey at all, and I probably was not seeing much of the Winter Olympics 13 years ago. So I'm sure this was a big part in. Obviously, this was huge news in America for sure. If it was for gold, and maybe maybe the reason it's not big news or not taught very much to people like me in America is because we lost. We lost. Maybe that's why it was buried in our history. Forbidden knowledge. Okay, that is cool though. That'd be cool to look at some highlights from that match, honestly. Oh, I think our university system is pretty great in terms of quality education and affordable and decently affordable. And conservation works seems to be pretty rad. That is pretty rad. University system. I don't know a lot about the Canadian university system. I'm going to have to learn about that. But you're saying it's pretty great in quality and affordability? That's all I got to hear. That's definitely something to be proud of. I remember when George W. Bush was trying to push Canada into the Iraq War, Prime Minister Sheraton gave a unequivocal no thanks. A very Canadian answer. No thanks. Yeah, very, again, with the whole valuing peacefulness and making smart military decisions. I respect it. Moderateness. Let us preserve it. Very cool. We generally believe that we benefit from immigration and are generally not racist. It's good. It's good to generally not be racist. It's very good, to say the least. Also, we were, I think, the second country to legalize gay marriage, and maybe the first to legalize weed. Yeah, very progressive. The weed thing is not really a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal in America. It's not really a big deal in and of itself, but it demonstrates our willingness to be reasonable despite historical attitudes. Yeah, just that willingness to like adapt with the civilization, like the modern day and what the people want. Just that willingness, like that's very, very respectable. Gas marriage. Yeah, I think he meant gay marriage, yes. Immigration, yeah, a lot of value around immigration. That's very nice. Very cool. The landscape, particularly the Rockies. Yeah, I've watched a fair bit of videos now highlighting some of the beautiful geography in Canada. Americans don't realize how beautiful Canada is, man. Not at all. Like Americans never talk about vacationing to some of the coolest places in Canada. They just don't know about it. And it's a shame. It's a shame. The landscape, yeah, the Rockies, a lot of other stuff too. Living in the safest nation in the Americas, all while not requiring firearms to feel safe. Yes, that is very different than America, for sure. For sure. Poutine! 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 Poutine is something to be proud of. I don't care if this was kind of a joke. I think it's serious. Poutine is amazing. What a creation. What a crazy mind. Yet it makes so much to come up with this. What a crazy invention, crazy mind, but it makes so much sense at the same time. For some reason, Americans don't have it. Sad. Sad. We don't have Terry Fox and we don't have poutine. Sad world. Sad world we live in. That we don't have a collective panic attack when balloons floats by. This is from 2 days ago. Because of the balloon that was flying around the United States. This is very relevant. Yes, America was really, really, really worried about the big balloon flying around the United States, for sure. There's only one right answer. Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. Oh man, what a Canadian. Don't get me started. Definitely. Okay. Real syrup. All right. These were good. Real syrup. Poutine syrup, Terry Fox, kindness, a couple of battles. There's some good stuff in here. I enjoyed this. What are Canadians most proud of? These were some great answers, and they did get specific, which is what I was hoping for. This is very enjoyable. Like I said, I never really have had an opportunity to like see what Canadians say they're proud of about their country. So this was cool, very cool, and informative. Liked it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.